Politics in America has moved so far away from civility that something as simple as calling out unacceptable behavior is now worthy of primetime coverage in headline news. During an MSNBC town hall on the Green New Deal, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez demonstrated what it's like to be a decent human being when someone in the audience attacked Representative Bob Inglis, a Republican from South Carolina.
You can't do it in a single Congress. The entire Green New Deal. It is literally impossible with the number of committee references that you would have in the course of that. So is it possible that we say, listen, climate change is the thing that we're seeing the whites of its eyes. We've got to act now. Can we come back maybe to universal basic income a little bit later?
Hey. That's unacceptable, and that's the difference between me and Trump.
So someone in the audience called him a moron, which prompted AOC to react that way. And AOC is not wrong when she says civility is one of the characteristics that differentiates her from Trump. During the same week at a Trump rally, Don Jr. led a chant ridiculing AOC.
Think about the fact that every mainstream leading Democratic contender is taking the advice of a freshman congresswoman who 3 weeks ago didn't know the 3 branches of government. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty scary. You guys, you're not very nice.
I know this is a small tangent, but let's just take a moment to point out the irony of Don Jr. mocking AOC's intelligence, especially when Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, said the following during his testimony in front of Congress.
Mr. Trump had frequently told me and others that his son, Don Jr., had the worst judgment of anyone in the world.
Anyway, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez eventually responded to the AOC sucks chant by demonstrating that she's not willing to engage in a mudslinging competition.
He doesn't have another woman, Hillary Clinton or whoever else, to vilify anymore, so they need to find another woman to kind of prop up and become a lightning rod.
Now, there certainly used to be way more civility in American politics. There's no question about that. When Obama delivered a speech to Congress back in 2009, former Representative Joe Wilson, a Republican lawmaker at the time, interrupted his speech, and it was considered a big deal in the press.
The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegal. It's not true.
Now we're used to our current president mocking sexual assault victims and people with disabilities. We're also used to him fear-mongering about the others, minorities, and threatening the media. I personally miss the civil political discourse. I miss debating about the actual issues, but I'll admit that I've found myself engaging in incivil ways, which I'm more conscious of these days. But I'm also not the only one who sees the value of civility. A poll by PBS NewsHour, NPR, and Marist found that 79% of Americans said they are concerned or very concerned that the negative tone of national politics will prompt violence. And they should be concerned because we have seen some of that violence. That concern was prominent across the political spectrum, with 92% of Democrats, 70% of Republicans, and 79% of those who identify as independent all in agreement. Man, there hasn't been agreement like that in American politics for a long time. So who's to blame for the lack of civility? There's some disagreement on that based on the results of this very poll. A plurality of Americans, 40%, point to President Donald Trump. Another 29% blamed the media. An additional 17% held congressional Democrats responsible, while shockingly only 7% blamed Republicans. Civility is just one part of the conversation. Accountability is the other. When the GOP looks the other way when their own president is creating toxic discourse, they're complicit in Trump's behavior and cannot seriously claim to be above it. We do need to get back to a place where we could discuss the issues, where we can talk about policy proposals without being accused of smearing the individual who's proposing them. Yes, that is a callback to my last segment last week. But I will say that I miss talking about policies. I miss having real debates that didn't engage mudslinging. But hopefully, eventually, we will learn some lessons from the current administration and what we're going through today. It makes politics so much more toxic to deal with these types of conversations, these smears, these fabrications. And honestly, it's counterproductive. We don't actually find any solutions to the real world issues that we're dealing with today. Oh, did you like that video? Well, that's great, because you never have to miss another episode of No Filter. All you have to do is just hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to get notified whenever we publish a new video.